Chapter 7 The Key to Freedom. Takashi flew through each and every single hallway that it led him through. It felt like he had been zooming all around a maze. Just then, his jetpack begins to run out of fuel, so he had to make a quick landing back onto the floor. Otherwise, his jetpack will shut down and cause him to fall. Once he was safe on the floor, he walks further down the candlelit hallway, trying to look for an exit. He pulled out his pistol gun, ready in hand, in case any more of Selexi's undead butlers come out to try and ambush him. He then tries to prepare the jetpack and refuel it once again to take flight. They take out 2 battery jet fuel packs to try and refuel it and get it ready. However, as he begins to attach it, a sudden golden cleaver was thrown towards him, striking the jetpack right on impact, completely damaging it beyond repair. But then he hears it, a manic laughter, and it appeared to be coming from a tall, skinny, but yet very muscular, pale-skinned woman with 2 long braided green hair, yellow slit eyes, and what looked like a bear trap for a mouth. Their clothing appeared to be a pair of boho pants, but almost like a butcher's apron with several kitchen-like tools about them. And they looked at them with those eyes, those soul-piercing eyes. Takashi stares at the woman in horror. They did not know who they were, but this was in fact some kind of hunter or bloodthirsty butcher that Selexi sent to hunt them down and kill them. He says to himself, "Well, not today, Death," as the rabbit sinner picks up 1 full battery fuel tank and rolls it towards the scary woman, and then aims his gun at it, and then, bam, kaboom! The battery tank explodes. After it has been shot, a flash of flame blinding the hunter. Wasting no time, Takashi makes a bolt for it and runs away. Cole became very angry that they lost their sight, but it was only temporary. As their vision returns, she looks upon the fire in front of her. She suddenly giggles into laughter. This little rabbit is actually going to be so much more fun to chase, and she couldn't wait to sink her teeth into his delicious, juicy flesh. But then, she of course remembers Selexi's instructions, as they were ordered to bring them alive and unspoiled. She was disappointed at this as she keeps following the trail to the rabbit, but their mouths salivated in the hopes that maybe they had some of their friends around they could eat. And so she leaps over the flame and follows the trail to the scent of the rabbit sinner left behind. Takashi runs as fast as they can, putting a distance between them and the huntress, as they begin checking every door they find, but each door is either locked or leads into the exact same room over and over again, as if they're going in circles. But then he sees one room guarded by 2 hellhounds. Could this be a treasure room or Selexi's office? Perhaps their bedchamber? Whatever it is, it could be perfect place to hide, at least from the huntress. So Takashi aims his gun at the hellhounds and shot both of them in the head, killing them. He then went over to the bodies to search their pockets for a key. After finding the key to the room and unlocking the door, he enters inside the room and shuts the door behind him before locking it and barricading the door with a nightstand. He breathed a sigh of relief before checking his messenger bag. Inside, aside of his boss's belongings, the mirror is still there, so he can still use it to leave this horrid place and go home. But then Takashi is hit in the back of the head by a hardcover book, and he falls over the floor unconscious. The listener's POV. You once were laying on the bed, almost half asleep, until you hear gunshots outside of the door. You turned around to see a rabbit sinner enter your bedroom. There was no doubt in your mind that he was an intruder, considering there is a gun in his hand until he put it away in his belt holster before barricading the door. And then, checking something in his bag, you very quietly climb off of your bed, pick up a book that was on your pillow, and quickly hit them on the head right from behind before knocking them out. Once the rabbit sinner is unconscious, you place the book on the nightstand before kneeling down and taking the gun away from him. After you hide the gun underneath one of your pillows, you then take his messenger bag and search inside of it. That is when you find something to catch your eye, a mirror. But this mirror is glowing purple, and you don't see your reflection in the glass of the mirror itself. What is this? Some kind of a cursed or enchanted mirror? Whatever the item is, it was in the rabbit sinner's possession. Did he steal this mirror from Selexi's treasure vault, perhaps? Just then, you hear the rabbit sinner groaning in pain. He's going to wake up. You stand up and rush over to your wardrobe, open the drawer and tuck the mirror inside of the middle row with your spare shirts, and then close the drawer. Takashi slowly wakes up, rubbing the sore spot on the back of his head, and then, as he turned his head, he notices you in the same room as him. In a panic, he tries to reach for his gun, but it is no longer there. So he reaches into the messenger bag to pull out his boss's spare angelic dagger, pointing at you, and so that it would keep your distance from him. He asks you, "Who the hell are you?" And after taking a good look, he suddenly noticed that you're a living human. How is that possible? Everything and everyone in this realm are undead or some form of dead. But then, as he sees Selexi's mark on your neck, he suddenly realizes that you must be one of Selexi's new pets. Another victim, doomed to be consumed by that monster. He puts his dagger back into the messenger bag. He's not going to waste his breath on you. But then suddenly, there's a loud noise at the door. Something or someone is trying to break down the door. Just then, you two hear someone on the other side say, little bunny, let me in. I know you're in there. I can smell you." Takashi's eyes widen in fear. It's her. It's the huntress. She had found them. In a panic, Takashi crawls underneath your bed and hides himself, leaving you to fend for yourself. Just then, your door breaks open into several splinters, the door covered in claw marks and knife marks. The pale, muscular woman enters the room, sniffing the air like a hound dog, trying to find their prey, trying to find the rabbit. But then she took a look at you, and then came very close to sniff you. You have a sweet, delicious scent of human, and yet you smell just like Selexi too. How strange. Still, she seemed quite curious about what your blood tastes like. However, before she was about to lay her claws on you, Selexi appears in your room in a puff of purple smoke. "Cole, don't even think about it. That one is mine. You get your own. He is off limits." The huntress called Cole backs away from you, grunts in frustration, mumbling to herself. "Humph, no fair." Selexi approaches you and checks to make sure you haven't been harmed. "My apologies, darling. I hope Cole didn't give you much of a fright. That's my job to do to you." "Oh, I'm just teasing you. Don't be wetting your pants after all. I would prefer you much rather be wetting your legs with a different liquid as I ravish your skin in the bedchamber." They change to a more serious tone. "But first things first, you wouldn't happen to be seeing a short rabbit sinner, have you? He has something that belongs to me, a mirror that I once given to the cult of the Greed Ring as a gift. so they could visit me anytime they wanted. However, after tonight's betrayal, I want it back. Now, if you'd be so kind and tell me where the little rabbit went, I promise you'll be rewarded. I will grant you a night of pure bliss and pleasure, more than what I have given you the previous nights. This time I will make love to you in this gorgeous avian form instead of my smooth human form, if that so pleases you. Surely you've been curious what my soft feathers would feel like grinding against your naked body as we intertwine as one. Would you like to feel my feathers again, but this time warm and dry, instead of all soaked and wet? All you have to do is give me the rabbit, and then I'm all yours tonight. Gods above, your body shivers and melts by the gentle silkiness of Selexi's voice as they whispered into your ear like that. Part of you is screaming, "Yes, yes, I want that, please, Selexi. I need them to hold me and take me again." But the other half of you is saying, "No, wait, you mustn't, you can't. You'd be trading someone's life for your selfish need, and you're not that kind of person. Nana taught you better than this." Your mind is conflicted and scattered, unsure of what to do. And yet you also fear what might happen if you lie to Selexi. And yet you don't want to rat out the poor, scared sinner hiding under your bed, who no doubt just wants to go home, same as you to go home to. Wait. Do you truly still want to go home? Do you want to go back to your normal life on Earth? Go through the stress of writing stories for your clients on a tight schedule all over again? You don't know what you want anymore. This is so frustrating and confusing. Selexi just stood there, watching your facial expressions as your mind trails off, your body language shifting as you try to think of what is right and wrong. It is quite cute and entertaining to them. Oh, how adorable. Conflicted between what is the right thing to do and what is wrong, thinking you'll be a bad person for giving up someone's life for your own benefits. Oh, there. You're not a bad person. A naughty little minx, perhaps. But you still have a heart of gold. Besides, this rabbit was with a gang of thugs who came here for the intention of killing me. So they could take the power of this void realm for themselves. Selexi was obviously making that up and lying, but he wanted to maintain the illusion that they could. I did mention this cult is from the Greed Ring, and true to their sin, they would have stopped at nothing to destroy or kill anyone in their path, if it means they get what they desire. Either way, this rabbit sinner aided them here, and then he would turn coward and run away, leaving them all to die in cold blood. So tell me, is a bastard like that worth protecting, especially if he had threatened your life too? Now that you think about it, the sinner did kill the bodyguards outside your room, and he threatened you with a sharp dagger, which makes you wonder if you haven't taken the gun from the rabbit after you knocked them unconscious. Maybe he would have shot you dead too. You look up at Selexi, and you shook your head, giving them your answer. You lift up your right hand and pointed down near Selexi's talons. gesturing them to the rabbit hiding underneath your bed. Selexi giggles, and then takes your hand that you were pointing that direction and pulls you back towards in front of them. And then they say, "That's a good little pet." They then take their other arm and with a gravitational pull, lift the poor rabbit up in the air, choking them as they float there. I actually already knew they were there. I sense all things that move in this castle. But I wanted to see if you were going to be loyal or not. And now I know that you are obsessed with me. Thank you, little pet. They say in an alluring but yet almost disgusted manner as they look over to Takashi. "Hello there, Takashi, little rabbit. I believe you and I are going to have a nice chit-chat. Come with me." Selexi walks out of the room, still holding up one hand as they force Takashi to levitate in the air in front of them, choking them as they float there. Cole was outside of the room, sees them floating in, and they giggle evilly. Selexi then eventually drops Takashi, and then Cole grabs them by the scruff of their furry neck. Takashi wiggles and struggles to break free. Just then, Selexi uses one of their sharp talons to cut the strap of the messenger bag off from the rabbit and take it from them. "I'll be taking that. Cole, escort our guest to the dungeon. I will deal with him shortly." Cole takes away Takashi and asks, "Can I have just a mouthful?" And Selexi then replies, "Perhaps later." Cole then giggles and continues to drag off the little rabbit as the rabbit screams for help. Selexi then turns their attention to you. "Well then, now that you and I are alone, where were we? Oh yes, I remember." Selexi sits the bag down on your desk chair, then comes over to you and captures your lips with their beak, kissing you passionately as their tongue dances with yours. You moan softly within that kiss, wanting more. You were picked up and laid gently onto your bed as Selexi climbs on top of you. The two of you make out for a long while before Selexi broke away from the kiss and looks at you in the eyes. "Do I have your consent to go any further, my dear? You will spend your 6th night of love and pleasure with me? If so, which form shall I take this time? It's the least I can do for your loyalty." You nod your head, saying yes, but you tell them not to change their form. You want to experience their tall avian form and feel their soft, warm feathers again. Selexi chuckles. "I knew you'd come around for this form." "Now, prepare yourself, for I shall give you a grand experience that you'll never forget." To be continued.